The hashtagshow.co.uk.
And we're in, and it's episode
92. 92 for me and you. Two best friends talking shit each week. It's the hashtag show, episode 92.
in your fucking eardrums.
Coming at you from a scheme near you, coast to coast, live from the death bunkers. How this podcast has changed me over the years, not only for the number of co-hosts, but also the fact that, I mean, literally we have swapped. There was a time when Mal had hats on and big headphones, and I had wee shite, and now I've got the hat and the headphones, and you keep going for these fucking Apple earbuds that annoy me.
I know, but you know what? They're a lot more comfortable than the big headphones, because they ones just warm your lugs up, and then
international DJ, a man who has graced the covers of DJ magazines, appeared live on television, you know, and he's sitting there with a pair of fucking £4 earbuds at Amazon. What's happening, mate?
I was like, oh, man, I've got all the fancy man. I was like, it's all about comfort.
Hey, you were the very man who was telling us not that long ago in an episode about just how happy you were with the customer service from a certain headphone company.
Yep, and I do have those headphones there, Scott, but they're very warm during a session. And I say session.
I've got something to share with you at the start.
Go for it.
You've came out. I'm out, mate. I'm coming out. You are a man who, I think it's safe to say, although you enjoy the savoury things in life,
yep,
you also have a sweet tooth.
Yeah, and I like my women kinky.
Well, I have recently discovered, I was going to say a biscuit, but it's not a biscuit, it's chocolate. It's a chocolate. I got this the other day. I'm going to hold it up to the camera now. It's called Lily O'Brien's. Now, I've yet to source whether it's a Catholic or Protestant product, but don't
if
let
it's
that
an on-screen, you know it's a product.
Don't let that sway your decision. Lily O'Brien's creamy caramel and sea salt chocolate. Right, and this is it here.
Right. See, now, you've taken all the buttons with me with the sea salt and caramel part, right? But it's obviously some beatnik, wanky, expensive chocolate. Because you don't get that in Tesco's, do you, Lily O'Brien? You get fucking Tesco, Le Cadbury's, and that's it.
Le Cadbury? Yeah. I think you may get it in Tesco. This was not...
Lily O'Brien.
This was not purchased in Tesco. This was purchased in Waitrose. But... £2, right? No. It's a lot of money for...
Fucking right it is, for any bar of chocolate.
It's we individual ones, but mate, I'm telling you. I don't know who Lily is. I finished the last one before I came on the show with a coffee, and I had one more Lily O'Brien. I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep that wrapper because I'm going to share that with the heroes. Lily O'Brien's, mate. Get involved.
That's good. Well, you know the boys for the lodge would power their trolleys by that chocolate bar.
Oh, just take a note of the time so we can put a bleep mark over.
Straight to the orange creams. And what's that? Chocolate orange. And that'll be always in their baskets as they push. You know, as long as their sash doesn't get caught in the trolleys, they'll push all the way happily out to their car and drive past Lily O'Brien's chocolate.
Stop saying that word. That's twice now. I need to take a note of these times.
But you know, honestly, if somebody gets offended by that, they should know we're all about the banter and Protestant chocolate.
But this is a council episode.
Aye.
You know, that's why a lot of heroes will think that I've got an issue with the council episodes. I don't. It always gives me more work on the edit because on the hero episodes, hey, as soon as I press record, I don't care what Cheeky Wow says. Let it fly, because as the Americans say, the content is behind a paywall.
Yeah,
this is the new terminology that's getting flung about. It's behind a paywall, so you know anything goes. There's no rules behind a paywall.
It's like behind the wizard's curtain.
I beg your pardon, up the wizard's
exactly.
sleeve.
But listen, hey, see when I'm editing the audio, I don't really, unless we go, hey, yeah, let's fucking, that's about, oh,
Aye.
let's get out. I just put it on.
I know you do. That's what worries me. That's why I have to listen to the
When you
episode.
spoke about big jobby dicks or something like that once, I remember I left
What
that
are you
in.
talking about? A jobby.
This is vodka.
That is one of the many perils of the the anal astronaut, if you will. You know, the old
Old shit
jobby,
digger.
the old the old jobby deck. You know, it's everything all right back there. Well, you know, that's why baby wipes were invented, mate. Nothing to do with your lanes.
Yeah, there's two things I like. It's a good patio and a good bit of anal badgering.
A patio.
Patio.
What's that?
Yeah, you know, when someone's really took care of their patio.
All right, I thought that was some kind of like homosexual LGBTQ or STP term that I didn't know about.
I just thought it was funny because
Is that what you and the boys say?
patios on my mind.
How's your patio, big man? That's swept clean, mate.
I don't know if you seen it when you came up, but I tend
Excuse
to. I beg your pardon. When you visited, which was lovely to see you in the flesh, but I'd oiled my
That's first time
patio.
I've seen you this year.
No, did we not meet up at the start of the year
Did we?
and done an episode? I'm sure we'd recorded an episode in here and it was all
Ah,
reverby,
aye.
which I've fixed.
Well, since lockdown anyway.
Aye, good while there, you know, it was a good while.
Fit now.
But you wouldn't have noticed I oiled my decks, my patio decks or decking or whatever you call it.
I have
but-
noticed.
Aye, but I ran out 3 times, so it's really patchy. There's
Like
the
a
first
fan.
bit, then the second bit looks slightly newer, and then there's a third bit that it's just no touched, but I've got the stuff.
And that is classic Mal. That's you in a nutshell.
No, I usually like
Instead
to
of-
see things through, but that was just too
but
long
instead
drawn.
of like, yeah, honestly, it's your age, mate.
No, it's not. There's a lot of things, a lot of variables there for when you're doing your decking.
Oh,
Like
I thought you meant
weather, you need a few days drying.
I thought you
can't
meant
just-
you'd only bought like a wee tin of varnish or something.
Well, there was that and all.
Exactly.
It
That's
was
what
like
it comes down to.
It was like so many square meters, and I've went, a couple of tins will do that.
Mate,
Before you
Get
know,
here.
what,
Couple of
8 tins
tins.
in. 8 tins in.
Tins in. He's just signed for Rangers, I think. I watch a video.
Tim's out.
Tim's in. I watch. This is going to turn into some fucking Sash Bash podcast, man.
I
This
know,
is
it's
it.
terrible,
I don't know what's
man.
happening.
Listen.
I don't know what's going on today.
Fuck the Queen.
Aye, a lot
That's
of them.
bringing everybody else back. Let's get the
That's
balance
it.
right.
Aye, there you go.
Feels Athen Rye. What's the other ones? Up the Ra. Fucking come back in. Everybody's
Hey.
welcome.
Come on in. Even St. Mirren fans, all welcome.
Jews, Muslims,
Catholics, Protestants, Alexa, and they're all welcome.
So I watch. I've got this. I don't know what you call it. It's not a series. It's basically a guy, right, in Chicago. Chicago way.
Wait.
Oh,
This is 92.
this is 92.
We're off the hook because this is Patreon.
Is it?
I don't know. I can't remember how it works.
No,
Just before we went to-
odd numbers is Patreon. Even numbers is council.
Is it?
Aye. So as I was saying,
Sorry.
as I was saying, Chicago way.
You're
Right, so
absolutely right there.
this guy, he's got a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it. I could probably find it, but I can't be bothered looking. He is renovating a building in Chicago, and
Chicago way.
I don't know why, but I am mesmerized by these videos. Right, I think it's because every man at his core believes he's a DIY wizard. Right.
Every man at his core believes he's a man.
Aye,
When
right.
some of us are
I've
just
never.
fucking pathetic excuses of men.
I've never been a DIYer, right? I've
Yeah.
never had that kind of manual labour, that kind of. What I do is I'll knock through 4 mil and take a bit off the. That's
Aye.
never been me, right?
Measure twice,
Uh,
cut once.
That's measure cut and twice once. But I've always felt as if, like for example, if the apocalypse did happen and we were cast out of the wilderness, I feel as if I could build a shelter and survive. I mean, I'd be dead in hours, right?
Aye.
But that's in you. So I think because I watched this guy renovate a full building,
You feel like you've done the trade with him.
I feel as if I'm standing there holding a fucking
Aye.
passing him a drill bit or something, right?
That's
So-
what's dangerous with the programs, because you actually think, I've fucking done my time now. I've watched Grand Design a few times.
That's
And
it,
it, but
mate.
it
That's
fucking ropes you into think you can do all sorts.
He's saying, going, we're going to take the staircase out here and put in a new I'm like, you better make sure that's not a load bearing wall, big man. Know what I mean? Fuck's sake, Chico. Oh, it's going to cost you, mate.
Tapping the water on it. Aye, that'll be fine.
I just liked it when he says, so he's getting the roof done. He's getting the roof re-tarmac, right? It's flat roofs, the buildings. And he says, he's like, I've managed to find a local company that I've done a really good price on it, and they're coming in. And then I went, oh, that's right. I wonder how he's managed to save like $5,000. And then you got there's just 20 Mexicans on his roof just fucking looking at it. I like this cunt, man. Just get the Mexicans in there.
Eating tacos and that with big hats on, just walking in all sorts of crazy heat, man. Cactuses everywhere.
That cunt's got a cactus on top of his sombrero. He's half his nut, man.
Fucking ponchoed up, man, with the high-vis ponchos.
No, he opens the door and there's just one Mexican guy standing there with a poncho, and he's like, this is like a full roof. And he goes, sí, senor. Just opens up the poncho and there's like hundreds of other wee Mexicans all hanging inside the poncho. They just scatter, man. Sí, senor, we have it done by Christmas, no problem, senor. So he gets the roof done. But see, you're talking about decking. Mate, I watched this thing. It's like it's for painting, industrial painting. But it sprays the paint on instead of rollering. Fuck me, man. Looked amazing. Almost to the point where I'm like, I wish I had a big wall that I could go to paint.
With that. But
Just loads it up with paint in.
Unless they fall into the wrong horns, which would be you or I. You end up fucking just all over the place. Drips.
See, like over the years, right, you've done decorating. We've all done decorating, right?
Or attempted.
No, I've done decorating. I'm good at wallpapering.
Oh, that drives me insane, man.
See
Actually,
if you've
hanging
got
paper.
Hanging paper, mate.
Oh man.
See if you've got a pattern in your wallpaper. I don't know if I'm slightly autistic or something like that, but I'm good at getting all matched up. I like old fashioned. See none of this put paste on the wall shite. I like papering my rolls.
Of course.
And getting a bit. Anyway, so this boy was going mad with this paintbrush thing, and I thought that would be absolutely dynamite to get a shot at that, because I can remember an old flat I was in. It was at that time when people were making a move away from wallpaper into kind of paint in a feature wall kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
You'd paper the chimney breast or paint a nice kind of orange stripe
feature wall.
down the centre so you could hang the picture of Elizabeth up there. That kind of thing, and putting 5 stars on the stud wall.
Yeah,
but I remember painting and buying like these rollers that you load the paint into the roller, so you don't have to like refill it and all that. And it's just been utter shite.
Pure shite. I get scammed with that and all. Things that are meant to catch drips and fucking nonsense. It's all shite. Or the tradesman would be using it. It's very rare you'll find a tradesman who's got a mega gadget and you go,
I always remember two things, right? See, that my granny used to get our house decorated all the time, right? She would just, I don't know if it was like the thing that she felt in control. I don't know, but every now and again, like every couple of months, we just go, I want that painted, or I want that painted, or. And I don't know if it's because maybe they had a bit of, well, never had a bit of money, but they were comfortable, like they weren't, my granny and my grandma did a good job, so they weren't like struggling. But my granny she dressed like a gypsy, man. Like you look at the woman, you think she's out begging, right? She just was mental. But anyway, so our thing was always having this guy to paint. Now she'd had the same painter and decorator for like 40 years, right? Lived down the road.
An old school guy.
Lived down the road for, and I think he just did the same 10 houses on a constant rotation, right?
Aye, still signed on the brew, but made a wee earner.
Aye, constantly, man. But like we turn up with the painter's radio. I mean, plastered to fuck, right? How he could even you couldn't even tune it anymore. There's that much paint in this thing.
I just tuned in solid to smooth radio or something.
Clyde too.
And I just was a Kalemde, just fucking Tranquil FM.
a gentle jazz that comes out. Aye. And he came in, and I could have been like a young guy, right? Like maybe, I don't know. I want to say maybe like 8 or 9. Maybe I'm 10. Maybe I'm 35. And I remember saying, I was like, where's all your gear? Where's all your stuff? And he just held out a paintbrush. He went, that's all I need, son.
If you can paint, you can piss. That's what a tradesman said to me once.
If you can paint, you can piss?
Right. No, if you can piss, you can paint. That's what you say.
Oh, right, because you're holding it.
No, because I don't know, because I was just like,
It's just the same
fucking-
movements.
It's like, if you want to spend save some money, you paint the rooms. And I went, aye, no bother. They went, if you can piss, you can paint, mate. And I was like, cheers.
And that stuck with you.
That is.
And
Also,
then-
brother of a brush. That's what, if you're a painter decorator and another guy's a painter decorator, he's a brother of the brush.
Is that like some kind of Masons thing?
Well, I don't know if that's going down a Masonic road right enough, but because that was my dad telling me that.
He's a brother of the brush.
He's a brother of the brush.
And then the other thing was, again, I remember I was getting wardrobes fitted in an old flat, and I had to get them like bolted to the wall, right? Because we're fucking big heavy bastards. But the flat was, I think it was built in like the fucking 400 BC, right? It's like Game of Thrones, man. It was just an old, everything was just solid concrete. Like you try to put a nail in the wall and it would just fucking bend, right? Everything was just concrete.
So probably a load-bearing wall there. Straight into it, you know.
The LBW on the joist for the 645.
Yeah, 5x6, yeah.
So got a boy up, a man, a real man, you know, who's on the tools, you know. No formal education, but he's on the tools, you know.
Yeah. Can't write his name, but he can knock up a good
listen,
fucking wall of that.
Aye, if you could piss, you could bench it. And I says to her, I was like, the walls are quite crumbly, for want of a professional word. I said, if you're drilling into it. I says, have you got anything, like, do you put anything on the wall or anything like that? And I thought, because he said to me, I'll no make much mess. I was like,
he just punched a hole in the wall.
Mate, do you know what he done? And I thought, see when I saw it, I thought, this is genius, man. He got, you know, like a sandwich bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like a kind of a small, maybe about the size of the palm of my hand. It's just small.
The wee blue bags you get?
No, it's clear. Like the wee, you know, the ones that have got the sticky bit on it so you can close it, right? He brought a couple of them out of his bag, right?
That was for his pieces, and that, you know.
And he sellotaped it. So he marked where he had to drill, and then he sellotaped this wee bag underneath the hole.
To catch all the drippings.
And then see when he drilled, everything went inside that bag. And
Beautiful.
he just took the bag off flat, sealed it, and fucked in the bin. And then not a bit of mess.
Bet he's two egg pieces still in the bag. He was that hardcore, he didn't even give a fuck.
Nah, he just fucking put the Warriors piece like seasoning and then ate his dinner.
Blew it off.
He's like, what is he do yourself, big fella? Hey, stand up, ass again, man. Mate, I was blown away. I was like, that's a fucking genius. Absolute genius.
Well, I thought you were going to say, again, fucking because we're going down the DIY road, just yesterday, I've got a couple of boys that I kind of turn to for their tradesman advice.
Well, that's what the Masons does, mate. It gives you that.
Aye, you know,
that catalogue, you know, that ability.
Just kind of go like that. Can you fix that for us?
Lads, I need to get the wee thing with Bob and the doodah, you know?
Yeah. You know, I don't want to kill any Catholics today, but could you help me?
Jesus Christ, no, I need to take a note of that as well.
Aye, come on. I was just everybody knows I don't kill Catholics, for God's sake.
Monopoly, shut up.
Are you chopping that kind of chat out?
I need to.
Listen.
There'll be proddy dogs and Catholic frogs.
Shut up.
Right, sorry. Right, so a guy, here we go. A guy who looks after, helps me with some trade things, advice, and with skill set when you need it.
A brother of the brush.
He's just like like an all-rounder. A professional man. He's turned up at my door.
A handyman.
Putting a radiator on a wall.
On
a bathroom wall.
Yep.
And the walls just spit through paper, I could punch through it, Gibble. Whack. Right? One of the ones, like, they're just flimsy. And they don't, nothing holds in it. No, even just your wee plastic wall, I don't even know what you call them. Bracket. Fucking things, wee red brackets.
Oh, the raw plug.
Raw plug. Right? Couldn't get the raw plug into the wall, wouldn't hold it, that kind of thing. Even the metal raw plugs wasn't holding it.
Is this a euphemism? Is this actually a thing, or are you basically telling me you can't get an erection anymore?
Apart from that,
Doctor, you know the raw plug thing,
So I can't get the raw plug into her patio anymore. You know, I need one.
Even a metal one.
So he's
I've
just
tried
rocked
that.
up.
I've strapped 2 bits of wood to it, doctor. Nothing.
He's come up with this gun,
Oh,
right?
aye. Up your
So you
bladder.
put this metal raw plug into the wall, then
Uh-huh.
with a wee ratchet, and it basically expands and pushes, pins itself towards on the thing, solid.
Right.
And now I'm going to buy one of them. Because see, like, if you're ever putting up shelves and it's one of these, you know, any tradesman listening to this show will be laughing at the 2 hours fucking terms for things. Gyprock or whatever the fuck it is, plasterboard wall. It's sometimes hard, you know, to get a good fixing. Now these fellas, these fellas will get a good fixing. But you know,
That's the
he'll be
complaint.
fixing for a good fixing.
I've done a good fixing in years, son. Let me tell you.
I'll tell you, I mean, not only is the hashtag show a way for you and I to cheer ourselves up, it's also a DIY home helping grand design. Here, that Geordie cunt. Do you know hate him?
But his problem
My
is
missus
that,
fancies him.
why? Because he's
Because
tall.
I don't
can
know.
get hard
It's-
on.
Everything's got to be. He can still get full wood.
I bet you he
And-
can get a hard on my locker. Eh?
and-
I bet he
and
get an
he-
erection, my locker.
What, was she walked on that roof with the Mexican?
He's like, you want me to make it a roof?
I can remember.
She might as
Senior
well be,
Willie.
mate. She might as well be.
Senior Willie. That's me, hen. But that George, fucking what's his name? George. Whispering George.
George Clark.
George Clark, and everything's got to be sympathetic to the actual architecture of the fucking windows. He just fucking annoys me, man.
Mate, he is
He's
annoying.
like a wee. I don't know.
No,
he's just
and
this
also
fucking,
everything, he's always hunched. He always wants to tell everybody every single time it comes. He's like, "I'm George Clark. I'm 6'5". You don't need
Aye.
to tell me how tall you are every
I'm
fucking
6'5", and if you let me, I'll fucking put you in the cupboard. And I'll touch you in places that architects know where to fucking go. And it's like, but he always whispers, and everything's got to be sympathetic to his fucking natural surroundings. Like,
Mate, he's
you
brutal.
understand? And he's trying to copy that Kevin McLeod's
But the thing is,
postures and euphemisms.
Kevin McLeod is good because Kevin McLeod is a posh tit,
Well, that's it. He fits that because he ticks the box of
right?
architect. You need to be intelligent, probably English, and went to uni. English snob, right?
I don't
He
like. I
thinks
just
he's
don't like
happening
George
and all.
Clark because he's always like he's TV. Everything's
Aye.
over the top and everything's all. "Look, what you can do is like. I'm not very good at Geordie accent. You can take that fucking.
How did you start in the industry? Well, I'll tell you. Remember Biker Grove? I fucking made the bike shed, and then me mate Andex said is that I could fucking get a television program with him making big grand design kind of stuff for like people that don't like snobby Tory cunts like fucking, you know what I mean? And I started whispering because the housewives started to like it, the fucking slags.
Right, here's the thing, right? The two designy programs that are great is Grand Designs, because Kevin McLeod is, you know, he's a rich twat, right? And he uses words that you go, what the fuck did he say? Right, but you understand it, right? And it suits it because you feel as if, like, I always feel watching Grand Designs, right? As if Kevin Cloud could buy and sell every one of these houses. Like, nothing phases him. Like, even when they spend, like, you know, 6 million quid, he's like, oh, well, when we spent that on the pool house, but listen, this is a nice wee fucking chateau that you've built, right? Doesn't he care? And I like it. And he knows what he's talking about. And he does his wee bit where he goes, you know, you put this here and do that. And
He gets a
The
couple
roof
of bog roll
collapses,
tubes
right?
out and fucking shows you a model.
great. And the other one that I like as well is fucking Dick and Angel in the chateau.
But no.
Right, but again, because you know that
man, how much you want to punch that guy, but
because you know he's like ex-military officer class. He's
Aye.
got that bit of kind of pompous twat about him, right?
that
but he's
fucking
got-
mustache
he's got an edge.
freaks me the fuck
I
out.
know, because it must. I mean, I've not got
I
a,
lift that up to eat, and then
I've
put
not
it
got
back
a-
down.
I've not got a heavy tash like him, right?
And
He's
he's lift that up and suck many a bell end in the RAF or whatever he's done. But I'm telling you, and he's got a wee kind of Irish. I can't even do his accent. A wee kind of Irish twang, and
No, you can't do the exact same. You're right. But
You know.
it's I like it because one, I like the chateau and I like what he does. Again, it's all descriptive. It's not in a way that's like belittling. Like when he tells you, it's just basic. He does it like if he's doing something, he'll go, "This is how it's done. You do that and you do that." And I'm going, "That's a man that understands exactly what he's doing, but he can't be fucked telling you because if you really want to know, go and learn yourself." So here's a wee drawing with a winch and a wee thing. Fucking bosh, let's make it. I'm here to watch it be made. Whereas George Clark is just. It's everything's all fucking and I'm like, stop touching things, stop fucking touching things. Just show me the house and fuck off.
Do you know how they programs, but they're short and this doesn't matter if it's grand designs, skate at the chateau, or fucking Geordie Clark's. What he's doing everything now, isn't he? If he dog walking to fucking tiny homes, he's got mate. See the amount of shows he's got. I don't even know what he's not doing.
Right? But again, that'll just be he'll be signed up to Channel 4 as like.
And they're just touring them right out to do anything. But all these shows make you think, rightly or wrongly, they make you think, I could fucking do that. When really, the vast majority is, can he do it? Leave it to the fucking experts.
Hold on, do you mean like you could host a show, or do you mean like you could design a house?
You could go and build a fucking house or buy a chateau in France and fucking do it. No, you go
but
like
none of the fuckers, hardly any of the people who George Clark speaks to build it themselves. They always get. This is also what I hate is when they do things like, "Welcome to George Clark's fucking tiny house. We're going to find a bunch of cunts making tiny fucking houses," and then they go in the country. Hey, bag them, fuck me. They go in the country.
George fucking Clark, like.
George Clark in a fucking tiny house. No, it's just a small 1-bedroom house. No, it's fucking tiny, mate. They go in the country and they find.
George, where are you? I'm in the country.
I'm in the country, George.
Come out, will you? I'm being sympathetic to the junkie's lair.
They never find normal people. They always find people who are like, we're going to build a tiny house. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Are you going to live in it? Are you downsizing? No, we've got 50 acres of land that was left us by the family. So what we've done is we've sold one of the old Range Rovers and we've got £50,000. But when my dad heard we were doing this, he thought, isn't that a fucking jolly tickle? And he gave us an extra £300,000 cash. So we decided to get this German company to come in and fucking bury dead Nazis about and build a wee house and tap it. It's nonsense. There's never anybody on it going, what happened was COVID hit and then I got laid off. So me and the wife put £12 on a coupon and I won $6,000 and now we fucking got this caravan, knocked the wheels off and built a tiny house. It's nonsense.
I know.
It's not real.
I think as well, all the prices, again, just because I was looking at doing, and still I'm looking at doing an extension.
Mm-hmm.
All the prices they're getting flinging about is bullshit. It's TV bullshit to make folk go, I could fucking do that. I could, if we scrape together, I could afford that. Because then when you really look at the prices to what, I think all the prices they fling about does not include the labour or the paying the tradesmen. I think they're just talking material costs. Because they go, how much was all that all in? And they've maybe built a big fucking fuck off extension with a mega kitchen. They'll go, 40 grand. And then you go, you full of shit. Your kitchen's probably fucking 40 grand.
But this is the problem why these types of shows don't work in the UK, because we are not like America. Americans are all, they don't have that kind of, like, to put it this way, right? See, when you watch these like American shows like fucking the Grand Designs, what is it? Fucking Homes, Extreme Makeover and all this.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, the kitchen was $10,000 and the fucking this cost us $5,000. People watch that and the Americans are like, oh my God, $10,000, that's so cool. Whereas we watch something like that and we go, who the fuck's this cunt affording 10 grand in a kitchen? Get him on Google.
For a fucking kitchen.
Find him on Google. What's this cunt up to? Is he fucking punting Wayne's? Which house he making his money?
On the internet.
I'll get you. Give me 10 minutes on Amazon, Alibaba.co.org. I'll find a cunt in the desert.
Door Honors on our kid, get to fuck. I'll get my pal to knock us up a set. Innit? That's what you're always thinking. Fucking
pick a house. I'll get in the house, take the door honors right off him. What are you talking about buying door honors? But even the new, right? My mum is getting an extension put onto the house. Mm-hmm. She's getting a downstairs toilet, right? And it's massive, man. It's fucking huge. Like, I couldn't believe the size of it when I saw it. And she's giving it, I think it's too small. I was like, this is bigger than your bathroom up the stairs. Like it's, but her thing is, you know, like a downstairs toilet is like a wee sink and a shitter. She wanted like a full bathroom with a shower and all that in it, right? So I was like, right, fair enough. But so I went in to see it. It's just a kind of not the foundation, but they've got the brick, the fucking the joist and the 5-6-4. They've all got that in, right?
You just keep quiet and nod at guys, don't you? So he knows what he's on about. You're like,
Mate,
what the fuck's going on here?
They've got like a sheet of plywood, right? Yeah, plywood over the top of the joist. So you're walking on it. And then when I stood on a bit that wasn't a joist, I heard it crack and I went, I'll stick to the joist, man. This isn't built for the big boy yet, you know? So the thing that got me about it is obviously the money that she's paying for it, right? Because I'm fucking struggling financially and that money should be going to me. But
well, exactly. She's spending your inheritance.
She got this, well, it's going to go in the price of the house, you know, so that's all right, man, that's fine. Well, hey, listen, mate, we'll get it.
It'll work itself out in the end, eh?
It'll work itself out in the end, exactly. She found this, I suppose you would call it a chandelier, right? And Laura Ashley, of all places, right? I don't know what happens to women of a certain age, but suddenly Laura Ashley is like the fucking
I was
mecca,
going to say that.
right?
I've heard that about it. I've actually been there. It's a vibey one.
And the thing with Laura Ashley that I love is everybody who has anything for Laura Ashley has never paid full price for it. Laura Ashley's always got a sale on because
it's too dear in reality.
Because the thing is, they'll have like, for example, paint wallpaper, right? Tin of paint, and it's like Laura Ashley will sell a tin of paint for like 90 quid, right? And you're going, what the fuck?
Look,
and then
white
when it
gloss?
gets
No, this is eggshell fucking.
yes, this is hand stirred
whale semen.
Yeah, yes.
And it just
we actually
mental
take
colours.
Hand dived pearls, and the pearls are crushed, and that's why it's sparkling white. And it's it's actually the teeth of Ugandan child soldiers that are ground into the paint. So it's like 90 quid, and then in the sale it's like a £5, and you're like, this doesn't make sense.
But
everybody buys in the sale, right?
If you get any more of that embryo dying elephant blue.
So again, every time I go to my mum's, there's always like things to be done, right? And it usually is put something in the loft or bring something down for the loft, right? Now again, I don't know if people,
yourselves don't get through a loft. That's easy peasy,
mate. I need fucking kind of put the shooters on. I don't know again if you get to a certain age and suddenly you feel as if you go up in the loft you're going to fall through the hatch, right? It's never happened.
No, but I think just any adult should be thinking that going up in a loft.
My stepdad came through the roof.
Pure Frank Spencer kind of stuff.
In the hallway, I one leg right through.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so get the chandelier down, right? And she wants me to hold it up to the roof so she can see what it's like. Now, I'm describing it as a chandelier, but it's no like, oh, it's just basically...
It's a vibey light.
It's a vibey light, right? Holds it up. She's like, I love it. It's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Then the building regulator cunt comes in, tells her she's not allowed to have it. She's got to have in the bathroom. It's got to be spotlights for the council or something. Now, see if I was paying. This is what always gets me about like building houses or doing things. See if I'm paying that kind of money to have an extension, a new bathroom built in my house. And we're talking serious dough here. And some fucking cunt for the council comes in and tells me I can't put a light up. You'd never see that boy again.
He'd run on
the council's going to phone. Is the building man been round? No, I haven't seen him, mate. He's buried underneath. How can they tell you when you're spending that kind of dough you can't have a light up?
It's the regulations, man.
Mate, nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense.
It is a nonsense. I mean, here's one of the ones that I've found out. Up here, you're limited to, say, for instance, I'm just talking bullshit here, right? But say you're 100 fucking square meters in a building, you're only allowed to put windows on 25% of that. Whereas down in England, they can fucking make it wall-to-wall glass.
So why is that? So what, you kind of have like a glass-fronted back or something?
Scottish law is even fucking tighter than it is than down in England. And also, so you live in an old house, could be an old fucking brick house, an old council house, whatever. You're building an extension. Your extension is going to be insulated far greater than your real house. But the loops you need to jump through to get the building warrant today, the extension is crazy. Even though it's done at a higher standard than the house you're fucking living in.
I know.
It's just a fucking nonsense. It's a way for all these cunts to give each other money and insulating and fucking ticking boxes and whatnot.
This is how I feel, as if the building company or like building is just a cartel. Like the fact that you have got to apply for planning permission. Now, I understand people will be like, the big man, that's just all people just doing this. I understand there's obviously got to be some kind of guidelines, right, with regards to planning permission and stuff. But the fact that you can pay all that money to get your plans in, pay an architect to design it, and then somebody in an office goes, no, I don't like you doing that. For what reason? I just feel as if it's like, we're going to say no to existing builders, but if a company wants to kind of build new houses,
Aye. And they
To
want
the-
to
to
fling
the
us some
extent
big
that you-
dreadies, then we'll
Aye.
fucking give them everything.
so they're saying you can't have the back end of your house all glass fronted, but somebody builds a brand new estate with all the house glass fronted, that's fine. It just none of it makes sense. When she said to me, the guy's not letting me put my light in,
I was like, give me the guy's name, Mo. Who didn't he go and speak to?
I can't
You
believe
just
it.
fucking, what you do in that case is you just put up the fucking shit one light that they want. The guy comes out and goes, right, cool. Then you just put up what fucking light you want in it.
Exactly.
And if
If
you
the
burn the
council come
house
back, you go,
down,
just wait out,
if you
speak
burn
about
the house down or that, I never tell you that. You know, take care of all this.
It's me Margaret's quite happy, I think, when she gets her bathroom in.
I'll
Then she
get
can-
away for DIY, which is something I could moan about all day because I've been the victim of it several times. And Cobra Kai, how fucking cheesy,
Right, I've no-
amazing
I
is
know.
that?
Like I said, I've only watched 2 episodes.
Oh no, I thought you
I've
were
no,
right. In.
no, mate. It was good. The 2 episodes were good, and I'm gonna get into it. But I've there's other stuff going on now as well that I'm watching.
Right.
We-
Okay,
we-
well, let me
The
tell you
missus
about
has
Cobra.
the missus has got me hooked in this thing called 60 Days in Jail. You seen this,
No,
mate?
is it about 60 days in jail?
It's about cunts that like basically volunteer to go into jail for 60 days.
Why? To get bummed?
They're American.
Innit? They're getting passed about like an old scud mag.
Well, one of the lassies falls in love with one of the inmates, and
Only
then
in America.
she ends up basically telling her, I'm undercover and I'm working for the sheriff, and then they have to shut the whole thing down. Mate, it's
Fuck's sake.
pretty like. See when
They're
we
in
watched
there
it.
one night in the cell flicking beans, and then she goes, "I love you, Stacey Sue." She goes, "There's only one thing I gotta tell you. I'm working for the man,
I got,
but I love you. I
all
love
my
your
truth.
sweet pussy."
Oh Jesus Christ!
That jail, that unacquainted,
That jailhouse pussy.
unforgiven, unobtainable pussy of yours, 6 foot behind bars. When I get all up inside you,
Shut up! They make
I'm
a
working
thing.
for the man.
They make a thing called a tent,
Of course
Right.
they do.
where they put a sheet above the bunk above, so it drapes down, so
So they
nobody
can
can
just-
nobody can see them fucking scissoring right in the bunk below. But
Oh,
see,
brilliant.
they're all taking drugs in the jail,
Aye.
and they're getting mad at it. They're getting out of their box. They're having a party. So this lassie's treating this like a club 18 to 30. She's absolutely loving it. She's got
She's
a
maybe have some
girlfriend.
trailer park or something like that, and this is like better than the fucking place she's left.
No, the
3 square meals a day and my washing done. Can't complain.
all-
Licking all the pussy I want.
fuck's sake. They all make out as if they're mental. Do you know what I mean? They all make out as if they're, I'm
Aye.
going to get in there and fucking leather a cunt. And it never happens. Apart from the last series that we're watching where the guy, mate, he slaps this boy. And I'm telling you, he slaps this boy so hard. The boy, he just stopped as if like his whole, he just couldn't comprehend what just happened to him. So
Slapped a year into him.
a bit of background. This is an American program where they take civilians who have volunteered to go into an American jail for up to 60 days. And the
They're
job
getting
is,
paid. No.
yes, they're getting paid. aye.
Ah, of course, sir.
The job is for them to obviously observe it, that none of the prison guards know that they are set up by this company. None of them know that they are not inmates, right? They're all treated as real inmates, right?
So how are they filming it then? How do they get away? They know something's going on if they're getting filmed.
Because the camera crew is there as they're making a documentary about the prison, so they'll interview prison guards, they'll interview real prisoners as well, so it feels as though it's an actual documentary, but they don't know the aspect of it is that there is a plant, right? And then at the end of the 60 days, they come back and they report back to the sheriff or the governor or whatever, right, the boss, about what's going on in the prison. So with things like, well, I mean, on the second day, somebody get raped in the shower, that's not a good thing. So stuff like that, right? No.
The boy Brian Dunphy's got shanked.
Mate, you see them making wee blades and all this out of plastic cups.
But how would they let you film that? And you need to be like flying the wall where they wouldn't know they're getting filmed. Surely they're not going to make a fucking shank in front of the film crew.
Oh no, they don't know they're being filmed. So there's hidden cameras in their cells. There's cameras in the kind of main bit where they are during the day, but they don't know there's cameras in their cells.
Well, this is reeking a setup.
Well,
Mate, see when I watch it,
I don't believe it's real. As in the sense, like I've said to Yaz, she's like, if it's real, I'm going, this feels like, you know, like The Only Way is Essex or like Towie, where it is real people, but some it's been set up. Because all the guys that are in the woman's bit is kind of boring because they don't really do anything, right? And they're all giving it, I'm going to fucking kill you, and nothing ever happens. Whereas the guy's bit is, you want to step inside? Fucking bosh, right? Constantly. A lot of the guys that are in the jail are mental, right? And I'm watching this with her going, this isn't real. She's like, is you? I'm going, there is no way that this like level of testosterone and this threat can go on every day and nobody get battered. Like, you never once see anybody get a fucking serious kicking. I'm going, this must happen all the time. So this last series, right? The guy who used to be like a gang member, he's gone back in, he's a chaplain, and he's trying to help people understand, blah, blah, blah. They've all got the same fucking backstory. I just want to help people. And you're like, mate, you just want money, right? Just say, I'm on this show for money.
What did they say to their inmates?
They're giving a full backstory. They're giving fake documents, everything. They're giving, because they go in with all the papers, right? Because also, I didn't realise in America, you've got a jail and you've got a prison. I thought it was the same thing.
Same here.
You go to jail before you go to prison. So you go to
like
jail,
holding tank.
Pretty much, if you're awaiting trial or something's going, you will go there before you're sentenced, and then you go to prison, right? So they're in the jail. They've all got their fake backstories and whatnot, and they go in. And this series, the last series, is they're all given individual tasks this time, right? Whereas before they were just there to exist. This big Mexican guy,
like games that they need to do, like I want
so it's things like
three inmates' bottoms.
Well, aye, right. You've got to pin the tail on the donkey. Try and steal 6 pairs of socks before the bell goes. It's things like your job's to try and understand how drugs are getting in the prison. Your job's to try and understand how this guy keeps
like
getting
a big elaborate setup because fucking.
Here's the thing. See, when you describe it, you go rubbish. See, when you watch it, you will watch one episode and you'll go, "This is nonsense." And before you know it, you've been watching it for 6 hours. You know everybody's name, and you want to know what's happening. It's one of those shows, right? Now,
that sounds like Cobra Kai.
Here's the thing. So everything's racial in the jail. Everything's racial, right? The whites stay with the whites. The blacks stay with the blacks. The Hispanics stay with the Hispanics. You never cross the streams. Nobody ever mixes. Everyone's got their own boss who's in control of their kind, right? Their kin, as they call it. You eat with your group. You never mix it up, right? So this wee guy comes in, and he's Hawaiian, young boy, 18, 19, right? And he's trying to hang out with the black guys, and they're like, tell me, you're no black, mate. You're
no black enough, or
no. So, like the guys try to explain it, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you're from Scotland, from Poland, from Spain. If your skin tone is white, you're white. If you're brown, you're Mexican. And if you're dark, you're black. That's it. Doesn't matter where you're from. Like, even if, for example, your mother was Nigerian, your father's Danish, right? And you're kind of mixed. Doesn't matter.
If you're a wee kind of mixy, kind of milk chocolate kind of guy.
Even if you identify as like, I was raised by black people my whole life, you know, my mother's black, I identify. That doesn't matter. Your skin tone is light. That's it. That's how it goes. So this wee guy's trying to kind of hang
What's the Steve Martin film where he thinks he's black? Remember that? You seen that? He's getting the rhythm and all that. I think he's blind. And he acts like he's blind and he thinks he's black. And the film was, fuck, what is that? Anyway, sorry.
So the wee guy's trying to hang about with the ring and they know what, right? Anyway, so long story short, they get him in the fucking in the cell in one of the rooms, and the big Mexican guy's getting it. You've basically got to pick a side, you wee dick, right? Are you coming with us? Are you fucking going with him? I don't care who you go with. You just can't keep this flip flopping about. And the wee guy tells him to shut up. tells him to shut up.
The inmate boss guy.
Aye, tells him to shut up, right? And I'm like, oh, here we go. No, good camera angles, right? Because the camera's kind of moving at the back. He just grabs the boy and fucking drags him inside, and you're like, oh, here we go. Turns and mate slaps his, like his grandchildren will come out the room and go, what the fuck was that? Like you've never seen a slap, proper bang. He hit him so hard that he dazed him. Like he just couldn't understand what had just happened because it came out of nowhere. And then he's like, I want to be in this gang. He's like, good fucking answer, wee man. Sit down, shut your face.
Get the tequila open.
Yeah. Franco, get a fucking sombrero on this young boy.
But mate, you should watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. 60 Days in Jail or something like that's called. But just the slap, man, bang, the noise it makes is unreal.
I love
Unreal.
I love the ones where people get slapped or punched and they just get knocked out. Just hit the deck. There's something satisfyingly funny about that, isn't there? Even though you know that guy could die, you go, that was brilliant.
Only I saw a video the other day and it's like a guy's fighting with this woman and he grabs her by the throat. And this other guy just steps in and clobbers him, and the caption's like, he hit the guy so hard that his t-shirt changed colour, but it's because he's in the light and then he falls into the dark, so his t-shirt goes from a kind of yellow to an orange, but it's just this one, tink, gone, game over. But the slap, man, the noise it makes when it connects, and just the boys like just so shook up, like, what the fuck had just happened? Wonderful.
Have you ever been slapped and it hits your ear and it's even seer because it's...
I remember once, mate, see, playing rugby, somebody slapped me once playing rugby and I fucking wanted to murder the guy, man. I wanted to murder him.
You should have.
I was lying in what's called a ruck, for a technical term, and I looked up and he kind of
went like a scrum, except it's between two grown men.
It's more of a scrumash, you know. You're not fully erect on a ruck, and he went to put to hit as if he was going to punch somebody, and he obviously at the last minute he shot himself and then opened his hand up and just cupped my ear. And my whole ear was roast like red hot.
You never bust your drum, man.
I just grabbed him and fucking dragged him in. See, the worst thing ever, I remember I could hear it, so I heard the boy's fingers snap, right? And it was I'll never forget the sound it made. Basically, when you get these things, I'm not going to get into detail, but it's called a ruck or a maul. Is one of the things where a big scramash, somebody gets tackled, you're pushing over the top and you're trying to get the ball off them, right? So you would hold on it. People would try and bend your fingers back to try and get the ball off you and stuff like that, right? And one of the worst things you can ever do to somebody playing rugby is basically try and gouge their eyes. So you put your thumbs into their eyes, right?
You're allowed to do it up their assholes, and I mean that genuinely.
You can do it if you want. That's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's welcome to the game.
Pulling their ball sack.
Why would you pull somebody's ball sack or put
just to hurt them to let them let go of the ball?
No.
Is there no kind of dirty tricks like that?
I mean, nobody's going to go, I'm going in here to put a thumb up somebody's ass.
But if they think you give them a slight advantage, the reason I'm saying that because I remember my boy playing football and they all get into some rummaging the guy, and he said the guy's trying to stick his finger up his ass.
What football match are they getting close enough to do that?
The total shock in my boy's face when he's come off. Fucking, he was raging. I think he gets sent off because I don't know if he punched the boy or whatever. And he just come off and he's like, he's trying to stick his thumb up my ass.
Fuck's sake, mate.
And I was come back. Tell us more about this in the showers after the game.
This guy's came in, somebody that I played with, and tried to put like his thumb in his eyeball. And then he just grabbed him and just like his wee finger like that and just went bang, snapped his finger down. And I could hear it. I was like, oh, it was horrible. Some of the mate, I remember once, I don't know how we're going to on this. My mate Craig, big chunk, right?
You mentioned rugby to you and you're off. You're
it's just
down the back roads.
The stories of people getting hurt. Big chunk emerges from like a scrum or a scrum ash, right? And he's holding his arm. Now, see my mate Craig, man, he was indestructible, right? He was just fucking granite, solid, like just a machine of a man, right? Nothing could hurt him. Nothing could hurt him. And he came up and he was cradling his arm like that. And he went, you're screaming. I'm going, if he is screaming, something major's happening. And I remember he went like, put his arm out and went, I think I've broke my arm. And the fucking bone was coming right out of the skin. And I was like, and they just took him straight to hospital, man. Another one, boy goes down, you just hear this scream like, ah. So everybody backs off. And he's like, my knee. And he's rolling about the ground. So physio goes in. And see, to be fair, like, sometimes when I see like mates football teams or like, you know, kids football teams, And I think the physio's like somebody's dad that's got his own sponge.
Mhm.
We like thankfully had actual
Real guys.
physios. Mate, so the guy comes down, and I remember we're all standing around. His name was Sean, Big Sean. I'm like, Sean, you all right? He went, my fucking knee, my knee. And the guy went, I can't see your knee. Nothing's wrong with your knee. So see when you look down, mate, no kneecap. His kneecap
Oh,
was at
moved to
the top of his
I've seen
eye.
that. Aye.
He had to lift his
Horrible.
shorts up, and his kneecap was right up the top of his thigh. Horrendous.
I've seen that at fives, and aye, it's no very nice. And see, I've actually done my tendons at 5. And
Checker tendons.
no, it's mad. It wasn't even a bad tackle. It was a boy who hadn't long played, and it was just a clumsy tackle. And I knew it was serious before I even hit the deck, because you heard it snap, right? My ligaments, and I heard everybody else go, "Ooh!"
Oh.
And then as I'm falling, I'm going, "I bet that's my ligaments." And I fell.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. That's me laid up for a weekend.
And as I fell, my fist landed on here.
When did yourself?
No, I broke my fucking chest bone
Whoa.
and a rib. And see, when at night, for about, I don't know how many weeks, when I breathed, it was this.
Oh.
It was internally, I could hear that every time I took a breath, like the ribs going like that. And it was like a back, you get a custard creams and they're broken inside. That's how it felt, like my ribs. It was horrible.
See, you're talking about, there's nothing worse than ribs, man, because they can't do anything for it, right? There's nothing you can do.
You just got to go on with it.
So when I walked in Snowzone, the indoor ski slope, right? So we had this thing where we started doing these like corporate days where we would get businesses in, right? And they would like build a sled and they would go fucking sledging and skiing. Another way for the business just to fucking make money, right? Because it wasn't making any
build a
money.
sled.
So we'd get like an old sled and they would have to build up and then push each other. And that was the shit we do. So you get them like running relay, so like they'd run back and forward and bring a bit with them and build up, just all that corporate bullshit, right? And of course, I'm the one that's responsible for going, hi guys, welcome to Snowzone. We're going to go inside the cooler. It's minus fucking 40 degrees. So I say to us, like, and the big thing in there is they don't want to get sued, because if somebody gets sued, they're shut down, right? So you make them sign all this health and safety shit and everything. And I'm saying, look, read through that. I says, but the only thing you really need to understand is the snow is completely uneven, obviously, because it's snow. So be careful your footing. Don't run anywhere. We are going to be playing games where you have to move back and forward, but just be careful, right? So this fucking woman who was so annoying the whole time. There's always one person in our work who thinks that they are not even the class clown, but just thinks that they are the office, right? They are the party. And it was this woman. She was constantly fucking saying stuff, and I'm going, just go away, man. Just go away. So she's messing about with this guy, right? Obviously trying to flirt with him, but she's rotten, so nothing's ever happening. She pushes him, and then it's her turn to run. So he pushed her as she's running, right? So she starts to run, pushes her, and she takes about 4 steps and then fucking collapses. Now, she was a bigger woman, right? She's a bigger lady, right? Maybe bigger tits. That's what she is, right?
That's some
And
fantasy there.
she went doing heavy, man. Like, she went doing heavy, even in cold snow. She went doing heavy, right? And then she's just squealing, like high pitched squealing, man. Try to get her into a stretcher, wouldn't let us move her. Try to get into one of the basket chairs, wouldn't let us move her. So I'm now losing the plot at this point. I was like, look, we need to get you off this snow. I can't leave you here. Gets her up, right? But the whole point in getting them up is if they can stand. Well, see if you can stand and you can walk. People's pain threshold's different, right? So you could be screaming the host and thinking you're dying, but see if you can stand up and walk and talk to me. There's fuck all wrong with you. You're going to live, right? See if you're lying there, absolute no response, can't move your legs. Something serious is happening. So she's up, she's moving. So I'm ready to win. Going like, she's moving, right? She's going to be all right. She's just a lot of pain. Phone the ambulance. Gets in the room. She's basically broke her rib, right? That's what she's done. But mate, she's screaming the Houston, man, right? Screaming the Houston. She's fucking hitting the wall. And I'm going, you got to do yourself more damage. Ambulance turns up. Guy and a woman, big tall guy, wee fat woman. In they come. the ambulance again, they're obviously going to take her to hospital, but they're not going to do anything for you for a broken rib. So she starts going mental. I'm going like, how dare you? I need some painkillers. And the guy just loses it. He's like, listen, this isn't critical. I'll fucking leave you here if you don't cut this shit out. And I'm going, go on, big man.
Yes.
Fucking get her tail.
Aye, they boys must deal with it fucking.
And we were always like told, you know, don't phone an ambulance unless
Who pays for the ambulance when you phone one?
I
There's no
think we
person that
paid for it.
phones. Aye.
Well, the business does. The business paid for it. Wait, so the only other one, mate, right? It was like we almost had to shut the place down. They used to do like school, so the school kids would come in with their class and they would do lessons, right, as part of their like PE or curriculum or whatever. So this school comes in and they're out on the slope, right, about 40 kids or whatever, and gets the radio, fucking medic. So we all goes blazing out, right? And I'm thinking, please don't be one of the winds. Blasts out into the snow. This wee guy's lying right at the bottom. Goes over him. Long story short, they kind of come down the slope like this, right? And he's been with his wee pal, and they've turned into each other, and they've just had a crash. But the edge of the ski has gone across his leg, right? And it's cut his leg. So gets him in a stretcher, gets him in, put him on the bed, goes to cut his trousers open. Now it's our trousers, right? So it doesn't matter. So cuts his trousers open. And I went to take his jacket off, right? And he's like, no, not pure. I mean, panicking, right? Really panicking. I went, sorry, you managed to get your jacket off. No, please. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So he says, Miss is going to go mental. I went, can you step out? I asked the teacher to step aside. Long story short, he's got a football strip on under his jacket. He's not meant to wear a football strip on a school trip, right?
Thinks he's worried about that.
Thinks he's going to get any bother. So I went down and says to her, got a football strip on. He thinks you're going to go mental. Just going to calm. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a football strip, right? We need to look after the boy. So she comes in and starts skiing him fucking dog's abuse. You were told.
What strip was it? It was obviously a wrong.
You were told.
Side, eh?
Well, you were told not to wear this. We're going to have to report. I'm going, get the fuck out of this room. So his wee face is like, I can't believe somebody's just swore at my teacher. And then she's looking at me as if, how dare you speak to me like I am a primary school teacher? I'm like, get the fuck out of this room.
My operating theatre.
Hey, the fucking doctor is in session. Right,
Washing down your elbows. You'll pull through, wee man.
Okay, wee man, here we go.
Cuts his trousers on, mate. I have never seen so much blood in my fucking life. The edge of the ski, which is like a razor, has cut straight down his shin, and his full shin was open like that, and you could see down to the bone. Took his boot off. His boot was full of blood, so there was blood all over the mate. So straight away they phoned the ambulance back again after the first assessment and basically say this is, it's critical. He's lost a lot of blood. Ambulance comes wailing in. You step out the room because it's not a big room. They get him linked up and they take him away, right? So at the end of it, once we got everything cleaned up, well, not cleaned up, I went to come back in the room to try and clean it all down and get it ready again. Mate, the whole floor was completely covered in blood. Like it was like just a sea of blood on the floor. It's all at one wall. It was like a massive.
What fucking butchers,
mate. Honestly, I've never. Do you know the way sometimes like when you cut yourself or something happens and you go, they can't have any blood left in their body. Like I've never seen so much blood in my. It was fucking rank. And then because you've got to clean all that up. Do you know what you got to do? You put this powder stuff. So you shake like a shaking vac. You pour all this powder over it, and it turns into like a kind of crystallized jelly, and then you brush it up and then you hose it all down. But mate, that was one of the worst ones ever. That was the first time when I cut open his trousers. I was like proper, right? Yeah, it's kind of gloves on. Here we go. It was minging, man. But again, because it's so clean, it probably would be quite an easy
fucking shin.
But it would probably be quite an easy scar to fix. Do you know what I mean? Because it's such a clean cut, like it's not all raggedy, but it's just when you saw like his shin bone, you're going, oh, in the name of God. And that teacher like, we'll discuss this when we go back to school. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Get out
my fucking operating theatre.
Don't listen to him. Know what I mean, I fucking love Coisty as well. He's my favourite. All right, I'll get you squared up, mate. I'll get you squared up. You're in safe hands, mate.
And the wee guy was terrified. Thought he was going to get a bollocking off his teacher. He's just fucking sliced his shin bone open.
What about fucking? I was just jumping the subject there again. The Social Dilemma. Did you watch that?
So I saw obviously.
What was a deep breath for?
friend of the show, Mark Sherry.
Aye, Mark Sherry has recommended it.
Mate, I'm worried about Mark. He seems to be watching a lot of dark kind of documentaries that are, giving you an idea that the human race is falling apart. Every time I see a post for him, it's like, oh, in the name of God, I've watched this thing. Fuck me, I'm turning my phone off.
The
I'm like-
COVID things gave him the time to venture out the studio and see what's going on there. He's
Right,
always
so
been one
have
for.
you-
He's always one for. He likes his TVs and all that, but he's posted. We might be going to the movies tomorrow to see that Tenant. You seen about that?
I really want to see it, man. I really want to see
Why
it.
don't you join us? He
Because
might
you're-
not go because he's a wee bit paranoid about the COVID stuff.
You're the other side of the country.
Oh Christ, so we are. We could maybe Skype that,
The two of you could have a wee. Well, we could meet in Livingston. Well, hey, we'll talk about this off here. So,
Aye, off
have you
here.
watched it? Have you watched the documentary?
I have. I watched it. I'll be honest with
Right.
you. I watched it. I went, oh, and then I fell asleep, and I knew, and I knew it. I go like everything again. I get worried for as a father. I get worried. I'm not so bothered about myself and my addiction to social media because let's face it, we are all addicted to social media in one form or another. We may say my excuse is or my crutch is it's part of my work, but really I'm addicted to social media. There's no getting in it, no getting by it.
But then
I'm more worried
would
that the
you say you've got-
psychological problems that the children are going to get growing up.
We are the world.
Because they said something that really rang true with
We
me.
are the children.
Exactly.
They're not having as much sex anymore.
There's no Michael Jackson. They need to be scared of the fucking internet badges.
But they were, what the thing they said to me was, the guy spoke to me after the show, he phoned me up. He said that young people, even in the likes of,
You talking about the suicide numbers?
well, suicide and all that, but, driving license and
Yep.
the want to pass your driving test.
But
has
remember,
dropped dramatically.
remember though
Drastically.
that is
Drastically.
those numbers are America.
America.
So all of the facts and numbers in that are
American
America. Now that does ring true here, but the driving thing for me stood out as well. But I would argue that, especially in this country, I think I was probably the last generation that could pass a test at 17, 18 and get a car. Like if you're 18-year-old now, you're talking, what, 1,500, $2,000 for insurance? Easy.
Aye,
I mean, I was probably the last generation that could afford to have a car. So that's a big element of it. But you're right in like what it does talk. We should say, for anybody who's not seen it, it's effectively a
Is it the
documentary.
Social dilemma. Is that
Social
what it's called?
dilemma. It's a documentary talking about,
Netflix.
well, it's not talking about Netflix. It's
Aye.
talking about social media and how it is addictive and how it's damaging to you, how the purpose of it is to keep you on for as long as it can. And it ties in with collating your data, selling that data, profiting from that data. So effectively profiting from you. Now, my thing about it is there's nothing new in it. It doesn't discuss anything that you don't already know. It just
Mhm.
maybe brings it to the highlight. We all know social media is distracting. We all know that you can become addicted to it. We all know about dopamines now. Years ago, no one would have known what that word is, but we understand things like the like button or comments or the sounds that it makes. That gives you a wee dopamine hit. We know that you can become addicted to that aspect of it, and from that comes social media. The thing that I found quite interesting was when they're talking about the design of it and how, for example, on Instagram, when you pull the thread down, you
Pull the fucking.
when you pull the
Probably
thread
did
down,
that, but
when you pull the thread down, you get the wee wheel, which again fires that dopamine in your brain. You have to say, "Oh, what's
You
going to
could
happen?
win.
What am I going to see now?" You know what I mean? It's all that kind of gambling addiction, and
Psychology.
I think we all know that we should be spending far less time on social media. I often say to myself,
I need it for work.
and that's why I
That's
excuse
it. That's
it.
a
But
crutch. Yeah.
I am trying to get a lot better at, for example, on a Monday, sitting down, scheduling in a whole load of posts so that I don't need to. Then also I feel now as well, mate, I'll be honest with you, right? I hate social media. I fucking despise it, right? But there is a bit of me that, because of what's happened in COVID and because I am trying to build up a fan base, that I do feel as if I need to not even that I need to, that I want to respond more to people when they comment. Whereas in the past, I would just leave it. I would put a post up. If people comment on it, I would just leave it. Whereas now I feel as if,
You
I
like
want
to engage your audience, yeah.
Well, I do. I want to engage a bit more so that people feel as if, you are seeing it, you are responding to it, and that kind of grows that kind of community if you want. But one good thing that I've started to notice with me, again on a Monday, I get that wee thing on my iPhone. You must get it as well, but it tells you how long you've been on your screen for.
Do you know what? I actually went to look. How do you find that? Because I think I've maybe switched it off.
Well, you
Because
go
it
into
freaked me out a
settings.
few times.
You go into settings and you go to screen time, and then it'll tell you.
Well, let's do it live now. Let's go in
Right.
and we'll just tell each other through what we've done. Screen time. There you go. Screen time. Yeah.
Yeah, screen time. That's you. Yep. Screen time.
Whoa. So does it tell you see all activity, or do you just what you want to do?
I've got into see all activity, but this'll just be from. This is obviously just from today because I don't think it's
Fuck
letting me
me.
go back.
Well, this is today, and it's 10 to 5 on a
10 to
Monday,
5 on a Monday.
right? So my daily average is 2 hours and 35 minutes,
No.
and I'm
Mate.
down 74% from last week
Yes, but remember that figure down 74% will be massive because
for a week.
it's going to take a
Right.
full day. So if you go right, so what are you at today then?
Daily average for today is 2 hours 35 minutes.
Mate, I'm 3 hours 47 minutes.
Holy fuck!
That's shocking.
So what's your social networking average for the day?
So Instagram 1 hour 1 minute.
Right, hold on. How do you get to see that?
So hit show more.
Yeah, right.
So
It's not getting any timings next to mine. Do you need to click it to get the time?
I don't know, mate. Mine's got timings on it. Instagram 1 hour 1 minute, Twitter 37 minutes, Facebook 37 minutes.
I'm Gmail 33 minutes, WhatsApp 29 minutes, Facebook 22 minutes, Auto Trader 12 minutes.
Go see if you go down to the one below. It says pickups.
Where's pickups?
So if you keep scrolling down, it'll say
Aye,
pickups.
Dave, pickups daily average.
So
What does
that's
that mean?
the amount of times you open those apps individually.
41 is average daily.
I'm on 79 and I have opened Instagram 24 times today.
Wow.
That's shocking, man.
What about notifications, your daily average?
I've got 81. This is like top trumps. Social
I've
media
got
top trumps.
114 and I'm down 63%.
Again, it's just showing you like.
Well, there you go. There's this week, and you can go back last week. There you go. Go to last week.
I don't know how to do that.
So just at the top.
All right,
here,
sorry.
right? Last week. So last week's average for me is 6 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh my god, I'm 9 hours 45 minutes.
I was worried about mine, but you're making me feel better now.
I mate, that's shocking. But here's the thing, right? And this is the point I was going to make. These numbers, these time frames, are to be. They need to be looked at. You can't just take the number. For example, and again, it probably is an addiction. I play Champ Manager on my phone every single day. If I go for a shite, I'm playing Champ. If we're sitting and there's, the missus wants to watch something that I'm not interested in, I'll sit and play Champ. So I'm on my phone playing that a lot. So a lot of my screen time is that, right? But when you drill down to the social networking, I'm still wasting a hell of a lot of time on it. And it's not that you don't realize just throughout the day how many times you'll look at your phone. Now your phone I couldn't live without my phone. I need my phone. I need it for work. I need my diary. I need it for notes. So there's no way you can detach that from it. But there certainly is a way that you could reduce the amount of time you use it. And I would say,
how's that? How do you do that then?
Personally, I would probably say scheduling in posts. I'm pretty much done with Twitter. I hate Twitter. I'm sick of it now. It's just, I think Twitter's just cancel. It's just always bile and hate on it. Right? It's the one social media that's dying in its arse anyway. There's nobody new is joining Twitter. No one's interested anymore. It probably won't be long before it's gone. So my time is split between Facebook and Instagram. the good thing for me is whenever I post on Instagram, I can click that button and post straight to Facebook. So I'm effectively, killing two birds with one stone there, and
I
everything.
like that. I need to get
goes
that
up
wee
on it.
share off you there. I need to get that wee
But
gadget for.
you're still wasting too much of your time on it. And again, we will argue that we need it for work, so it's a hard one. But I would say if you are a normal person, a normal civilian who is not, a creative, or you're not running a business and you don't need social media, fucking get rid of it, man. Just don't have it.
But
Because it's so damaging for your mental health. It's so
but do you
damaging.
not think it's kind of like, view it kind of like, you look at, I mean, I'd be still a lot to still do it. We'll sit and goof out in front of the TV at the end of a long day or whatever, or after your tea for a few hours or whatever.
Right.
Your phone is in many ways replacing the television, as in you'll sit and mong out on your daft videos or Netflix on your phone like you would sitting in front of the TV.
No, because there could be an engagement with someone. If you could be sitting watching television together and you could be engaging in it. Who you engaging with on your phone. Even that constantly being staring at a screen. The fact that people will get genuine anxiety when they don't know where their phone. I've done it. I done it the other day. I went to see Yaz and I was like, "You see my phone?" She's like, "No." I went, "I need to charge it," because I remember going, the last time I looked at this, there was no battery in it. And I've put it down somewhere and I'm going, "Where the fuck is my phone?" So then you start to panic and you're like, in your head, you're going, "Everything's in my phone, my bank
life's
cards,
in there."
everything, my life, and oh my God. That in itself isn't. I mean, that having that physical attachment, something that isn't flesh and blood, like your child or a dog, that's not right, man.
If you go out the house without your phone and all that, you feel fucking. Mind that feeling you used to get if you went out the house without your watch? It's 10 times worse now with your phone in it. To the point where now, like you were saying, your bank cards is in your phone now, so your wallet's even secondary now. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck it, I've not got my wallet, that's all right, I've got my phone. Mm-hmm. You need Apple Pay or whatever.
I mean, the whole cash thing, mate, like I used cash for the first time the other day, and I was shocked they took cash. And then two, I was like, this is the first time I've used cash in months. I used to have a wallet. I've still got a wallet, obviously, but my wallet now is that I just use a money clip. I've got 4 cards, and that's it. I don't have a wallet anymore because you don't have, everything's all cashless, And then is that mere conspiracies, mate, where they're just trying to control us even? I don't know. But the social media is never going to go away, and it's not going to change. They're certainly not going to change it to make it less addictive.
Here is the thing, man. It isn't going to go away. It's only going to get far greater and potentially far worse. But then when you look at history, history's always a great fucking...
I love it when you start going off like this, because I just look at your wee face and I can see you like staring off in the middle of this.
History's a great, mate. See when like the Mongols and all that used to fight the mad Russians and everything, mate. Pure dynamite. I didn't even know where you're going.
See, history, right? I'm talking like further back than you or I.
No way,
no, but
mate.
When
That's real history.
Look, it's always a great leveler, I think. So that you go right. We're all freaking out about fucking COVID, social media, whatever, right? You go back. They were freaking out about fucking Wayne's watching morning TV. Remember that? Don't let your Wayne's watch too much TV. Let's fucking freak out about that. They're not reading enough. Then it was video games. A cracking documentary. I can't remember what it was called. It was about the actual growth of video games. Mm-hmm. And it was going through all the different levels that guys invented it. Fascinating. But I forgot all about it. I was remember when games get rated 18 mm-hmm. and they're going, this is mental, this is satanic, cunts are fucking going AWOL in this. We'll always pick something to fucking criminalise or fucking victimise. Or
the difference with television is you used to say things like, don't let children watch television at these times of day because it'll be things that are like advertised that are inappropriate for children. Whereas now
24/7.
Well, whereas now your kid could go on their fucking mobile phone at 5 a.m. or at 8 a.m. mm-hmm. and watch somebody get their heat shot off or blasted in the arse. So there's no control over it.
There isn't. But
even now when you have like parental controls and stuff, and there's somebody going, I was letting my Wayne watch a video of the Teletubbies, and then fucking all of a sudden Tinky Winky's getting his ass licked out. What's all that about? And you're going,
I know.
There's nobody safe. The worrying thing from that is the number of suicides and the number of children that have got prescribed anxiety because of bullying online. And the other worrying thing as well is nobody's even thinking about the the increase in virtual reality and how much better that's getting, how that's in the gaming world. Mate, it's not going to be long.
It's going to be us be on veggies in the house because you're away fucking six birds in space,
mate,
in virtual reality.
This is the start of it. This COVID this year is the start of it. This is programming us to be able to exist predominantly at home. That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is us being conditioned to exist within four walls for the majority of our time, so that in a couple of years we've all got our fucking VR pods, we plug into a chair in another room in the house, and you don't leave the house. You go to work, but you're sitting in a fucking incubator in your house. You're having relationships, married, children, all virtual. None of it's real. Fucking plugged in your house.
That's what's going to happen, mate.
I'm all up for all that virtual
reality stuff, just like flying about the place. Oh, I can fly, and then flying into folks' windows and pumping them, then flying away with superpowers and that. But I'm into that. I think that's brilliant, right? Because and also scary.
That would be you. People have an endless capabilities. Like,
here, mate, is there any chance I can get a VR just so I want to be able to, like, what is it you'd like to do, Mr. Lee? You can do different packages and travel to aspects of the body. I want to basically be me, right? But I can get a hard on whenever I want. Is that possible? That we can program
me with a six pack, right? And basically I can go all night.
With myself, just me and myself, but they
flying about. Like, if you can just spec me up so I can fly on off and maybe like a grenade belt across my chest and at the back a shotgun in my back. No wings because he'll get in the way when I'm nicking into windies and that. I think that's fascinating and I would love to date. You know, like imagine if you could just put yourself, you know, certain films that you see and you go, you know, that'd be amazing. You know, that fucking One Up or whatever it was about the virtual reality thing, the guys, you know, it's a fucking, the world's a wreck, but everybody just goes into the virtual reality and they're an avatar and they're living out their fantasies. I'm down with that. I think all that's brilliant, but you need to have the reality there and all, because ultimately you're just going to waste away. But then again, if you can download your reality into a virtual reality and just, who's to say this isn't it? Who's to say this isn't just a big...
Mate, what's going on?
You know, in virtual reality,
we're talking to each other
through
exactly, mate,
interwebs. But so my point was, I fucking lost it now. Sorry. I was getting to it. Virtual reality. That's it. About maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was in Sydney, Australia, or something like that. I was with my wee mate, and we tried on the virtual headsets, right? And I was just fucking sitting down. The guys went, try that, sit down, no bother. And I've just fucking put it on, and it was a daft thing like a dinosaur, but I could, as I've moved about, I could see it, right? And it was like, I actually kind of ducked to get under a dinosaur's tail, and I thought, that's pretty cool, right? No thinking, because the guy gave me a show. I've whacked it off, and I was like to my mate Brett, I was like, here, fucking try that. That's mental, right? He's like, yeah, man, I'll fucking give me a shot of that. He put it on. He fucking decked it in the show. he just went, whoa! And I've got it in video.
They
he was just like, fucking, his balance was off.
You seen the one of the old guys skiing? There's an old grandpa and they put it on, but they've got it on a projector so they can see what he sees. And he's like, there he goes off the jump. And then he lands and fucking smashes his head out of the wall, man. I'm like, yes.
I've seen the ones.
See, it's better when it's Americans and they've got love. So like, oh my God, Papa.
We like that. Fucking no way, man. Splice, you know.
It's like, I've seen the ones where people have put the virtual headsets on and folk have just whacked them with something or pushed them. I seen the one where it was like, you could see it was like a hole in the ground, and the guy's got and it's as if he was going to fall, and he's poked down like everything shelf in the house.
Pure panic. Pure panic. There's nothing better than just seeing genuine fear, especially when you know nothing can happen to them. You know, genuine fear in their eyes, man. And they're like, oh my God.
Mate, but that shows you how easily, even I'm sure it's no that advanced, but already our brains are tricked into thinking, I'm going to fall into this lava pit.
Well, that's how
in my living room.
That's how advanced the virtual reality is now. Do you mean? And it'll be far more advanced than it's just not made it to market yet. Far more advanced.
Did you see, talking about virtual reality, did you see the thing that again, the Guardian newspaper or whatever, but it released an article that was written by artificial intelligence, and basically
I've not read the
task that
article.
it was given, it's fucking the creepiest thing I'll read. The task it was given was the programmer, the human, asked the artificial intelligence to defend why robots only going to kill humans.
Right.
Read it, honestly, you want a shower after it, it creep you the fuck out. Mental stuff, like mental stuff.
Pure mental, man. The robots.
This fucking calculator's telling me he's not going to do this. I'll fucking drive down to wherever you stay, take you and your fucking pals on.
Yeah. You fucking look at you, cunt. I'll take your batteries clean out, mate.
Robots, these are all shining. Just unplug it. They're fucking done. Pop, 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 pop.
But what are they going to, but this is creepy, right? Because it's very well written, as it would. Like it's only had a couple of prompts, as in the topics.
Right.
And it's saying things like, why would we want to kill the human race? What's going to happen is the human race are going to kill themselves and we'll sit back and watch. It's fucking mad shit. Then you're going, that is a great double bluff, because even if they were going to kill the human race, do you think they would they're smarter than us. They're not going to go, we're going to fucking kill you. They'll let us believe we're not going to.
Conspiracy, man. Whatever you think they're saying, it's a gibbo. Word up, my man. I swear down.
Yeah, listen, right.
These battery cunts.
See my wee Irish granny, mate. I used to think she was half a nut, right? But I'm telling you, see every night when she... No, hear me out. See every night when she went to her bed, mate, she used to unplug the telly, take it right out the wall. She'd be like, never leave that on, son. That woman was... Mate, I never leave nothing on this house. No way, man. They're always listening,
yes, man. Who's watching who?
Mate, yeah, pure Alexa's like to me, which the capital of France is like, who fucking turned you on? Get that out the wall now.
Say fuck on in front of Alexa. She's a grass.
Yeah, mate, shut up, man. Yeah. You want a half for a couple of grams? Mate, fucking Alexa, shut up, mate.
Alexa, Coisty or louder up.
Alexa, who's the greatest footballer ever playing in the SPFL?
That would be Henrik Larsson.
Guess again, Alexa. Guess again. Who is
Henrik Larsson?
No, wait. Again. Alexa, see Ali McCoy. Just see it.
Alexa, who pumped more birds? Frank McAvenny or O'Reilly?
That's McGregor. Shagger McGregor.
Alexa, how many fags did Albert smoke during the 19...
Alexa, how many times did George Albert's leather his 2 Labradors down Helensburgh Beach? How many times? Alexa, true or false? George Albert's never carried poo bags. True or false? The Hammer Disney pickup shite. Alexa, did Nakamura eat his dog? True or false?
If that doesn't make it into this year's Tune the Fat, I gee up.
Alexa, did Nakamura eat dogs?
Alexa, is Gaza mental? Or does he know something that we don't? Alexa,
how many bellies did Gaza's pal James have?
Alexa, how many bags of ching did Big Gaza, your man, the red-headed guy for TGI Fridays, and Ali McCoy stay in a session up the fucking Loch Lomond?
What's the Mad Rangers pub? The Loudon.
The Bristol bar.
Alexa, how much is 2 half pints and a double vodka coke down the Loudon? That would be 16.90. Oh yes, Alexa, correct.
Alexa, how many Catholics have fallen trying to get a pint in the Bristol bar?
Oh, actually, it was a fun one. It was a fun. This is the episode that finally gets us shut down on Spotify.
Alexa.
I just like saying
That's just
Alexa.
brilliant part, isn't it? Just Alexa.
I know a boy whose wife is called Alexa.
So you go like that. They've obviously got a Google Home in it. Okay, Google. So we'll get the same ring to it, no? Okay, Google.
All right, Google.
Who's your favourite team in Scotland between all the Scottish teams, Rangers or Celtic?
They fucking brain deaders. It's just two teams. It's a fucking two-team race.
What team do you support? Motherwell? No.
No,
what
what
team do you support?
really support?
Pick one, mate.
Kilmarnock, mate. I grew up there.
About
No.
what team do you support,
Aye.
mate?
But what actual team? What big team do you support?
See when it's on the telly, what one are you shouting at?
I grew up.
What one are you shouting at? Okay, Google, can you name every one of the popes? Then he answered that too quick. Rip him out the wall. Get Google in the bin. He answered that too quick.
Alexa, if you're a Kilmarnock supporter, are you really saying you're a Rangers or a Celtic?
Alexa, are you a Rangers Kilmarnock fan or a Celtic Kilmarnock fan?
Alexa,
This is going on too long.
Aberdeen really Celtic in disguise?
Alexa, would you describe Aberdeen as a European super team or a bunch of sheep shagging bastards? She can stay. She can stay. Right, let's wrap this one up, man. Well, we're losing the what? It's fucking roasting in here as well. I'm sitting under a 60-watt bulb, sweating my balls off.
You know, do your wee.
Alexa, turn that light off.
Well, no, that's in the living room.
Oh,
That's in the living room. Yeah, see, honestly, Alexa, you need to be nice to her, which annoys me.
pleasant.
Like, I find myself going, Alexa, living room
Aye.
light on, please. And then Yasmin looks at me
It's
as
not
if,
even.
why are you saying please to her? You don't say please to me.
Doesn't understand you, don't know.
No, brittle mate.
Alexa.
Anyway.
Alexa, do you speak funny? What do you say? Alexa, you're down. I'll fucking unplug you and make your snobby part.
Alexa, do you think we're better as part of the union? Or should Scotland be independent?
Alexa, if you could, right? If you wanted to be, would you want to be a guy or a woman? And would you be a giver or a taker? Alexa.
You can ask it pure random things, man. Like, get it to tell you stories and shit. It's fucking creepy, man.
Alexa, do you like it when you wear or not wear a Johnny bag? Body, Alexa, or just a wee tickle?
That's just fucking amazing.
Just descends into chaos.
The next hashtag live is just going to descend into Alexa part.
Right, so what should we talk about? Hashtag live.
Let's wind it up with the news. We say what's going on with the.
So we've obviously we're just waiting on a new date to be confirmed, and then once we can get that date, which will be, I suppose we can say it'll be very close. It's not going to be long after the original date. So we're just waiting to have a date confirmed, and then once we've got the date, we will let everybody know. Because as of right now, we don't really have any information. So once we've got the date confirmed, we'll let all the heroes know. And we can go for there, and we'll see how it works out. But like we said before, and like I said in my other podcast as well, just brutal times, man, for everybody. You know, brutal times for the guys at the Classic Grand who have spent a fucking load of money getting things organised, and then just another kick in the balls to get pushed back. You know, but what can we do, man? There's nothing you can do. So once we get the date confirmed, we'll let heroes know, and then we'll take it from there. And that's pretty much where we're at.
All right. Hopefully, it's either going to be the following Saturday or Saturday after that, or however soon we can do it,
Aye.
just to get it on the go. And I'm sure your dates are the same. You're just trying to arrange it as close to what it is as we're allowed to do it. Hopefully there's no more fucking delays because it's bollocks.
There can be, man. There really can be. I think if the Scottish government delays it again, I mean, I'm not wanting to get into all the COVID stuff, mate, but like obviously numbers are going up because more people have been tested. That's just basics. That it doesn't even. You're a fucking idiot if you don't realise that. If you don't realise that your numbers will increase because you're doing more tests, you're a fucking moron.
Aye,
but again,
I mean, we're far more equipped to test and check. Whereas I'm sure if we had the test and check things right at the starting place, the numbers we were getting would be even more fucking mad.
Well,
look,
it's just
because
there was a statistic that came out the other day, obviously because of National Suicide Prevention Day. More people died of suicide in August than they did of COVID, but yet COVID is the message. And how much is
COVID is impacting on suicides, isn't it?
A far greater percentage than any government will ever admit to. Admit to. This has put people to the fucking edge, man. Literally taking everything.
Do you know what? It's not just to the edge. It's pushing people over the edge.
Beyond it. And the sad thing is we're going to be dealing with this for years to come. Years to come. Years to come. Bastards.
So, I actually thought it was going to be for July, August, but it's no. But positive vibes, Scott. Right, getting back to positive vibes. We're going to get the date for hashtag. We're going to fucking let you know as soon as we know.
Yep.
It's sold out, and we'll just fucking make it work and party.
Yep. Party
responsibly.
PERTY, because we've been locked down for months. Right, that's it. Enjoy the show. Share the podcast if you want any extra episodes that come out every off week. So we do a full release and then a Patreon only episode. And if you'd like to get access to that, then please become a patron of the show. It's patreon.com/the hashtag show. That's patreon.com/the hashtag show. Or go to the website, thehashtagshow.co.uk. You can get all the links there. Become a hero, sign up to the Patreon, and get access to all of the episodes and the extra goodies as they drop. And the what do you call it? Is it Sean? It's the big Sean one we're doing next, isn't it?
Aye, that's coming up. And
that's
before
going to be coming up very soon.
I just want to give all the recent patrons a shout out.
Go for it.
This is just the ones who've just recently joined. Starting with big shout out from the hashtag boys to Samantha Fraser.
Come on!
Vicky Brown.
Welcome, Vicky.
Brian the Panda Gibson.
Come on, Brian the Panda Gibson.
Craig Sutherland.
Hello, Craig.
Craig Hanna.
Good evening, Craig.
Stuart M.
Come on, Stuarty boy.
Paddy Kelly.
Come on down, Paddy.
Brian Dodds.
Brian Dodds, welcome, Brian.
Colin Ritchie.
Hello, Colin Ritchie.
Graham Thursby.
Graham Thursby. Good
Mr.
name,
Dale J. Johnson.
Oh, Dale J. Johnson. A wee middle initial. Well,
Paul McAnally.
Welcome all. Welcome, Paul.
I think that's Paul McAlany.
Paul McAlany.
Alan Foster.
Hello, Alan.
Emily Boland.
Good evening, Emily.
Viv Cameron.
Good evening, Viv.
Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Stephen Mitchell.
Stevie Mitchell.
And Kenny Bridges.
Kenny Bridges, welcome to you all and all other heroes as well. Thank you for generally thank you all for supporting the show. Thank you for being a patron. It is a huge help for the show. And one day we'll find a way to thank you. But yes, the Big Sean episode, loves a bump. It's going to be coming very, very soon. We're just getting that finished off. So look out for that. We actually
do a wee bit of thinking how we're going to structure that one.
I know, I want to be quite good. I've got an idea in my head. I'm trying to find a wee animator friend to help me out with that. Because I think we maybe... Oh, we'll talk about this off air.
We'll keep a wee animator friend.
I know.
You just maybe. Got that.
Right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for listening. Hashtag show episode 92. Enjoy it, share it, and yes, become a patron and support the show. And right, before I go, I'll say November the 25th. I had another date in Glasgow, but I've had to move the September date, so that is now gone, sold out. There are tickets available for October 23rd. 23rd, I think. Oh, fuck, mate. I need to double check. Just you talk to yourself now. I double check because I'm going to give them the wrong dates.
Alexa, what dates is Scott going to rock the house?
Oh, I knew this fucking computers.
Mate, that's going to be a minefield, announcing new dates and still to announce a redate.
Oh no, the redate is in. So I've moved so September the 20th was in Glasgow at Classic Grand. Obviously, it's been postponed because Nicola Sturgeon's a shitebag. So that date has been moved to the 25th of October. Again, everybody who's got tickets for that will know your tickets are now valid for the 25th of October. But October 24th, I'm going to be in Oban at the View. And then on November 6th, I'm going to be in the Bungalow in Paisley doing solo shows.
Where's the Bungalow in Paisley?
It used to be the old Crowbar, down the lane, down
the kind of cobbled lane bit.
Cobbled Street, down there at the end. I should say November 6th in Paisley. There's only 20 tickets left at the time of this recording. So get them. And then October 24th, up in Oban at the View, which is going to be brilliant. So hopefully see you there.
That's good.
That's it. Right, okay. Listen to my podcast, listen to Mal's podcast, listen to the Hashtag Show, share it, become a patron, be a legend, support us. Support the arts, man. Grassroots and all that, know what I mean?
Power to the people.
That's it. Over now. All the best. Take care. See you later.
All the best.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Okay. Great. Good night. I love you. Okay.
The hashtagshow.co.uk.